Before we get into today's chat, quick one. If you're not 100% sure how your HR is really holding up, take our free HR health check. It's short, jargon-free, and gives you a clear score on what's working and what needs a bit of love. And if you do it before 1st April 2026, you'll get a bonus 7-pillar strategy on a page, tailored to help you manage HR brilliantly for the year ahead. Just head to kateunderwoodhr.co.uk/HR-health-check the link in the show notes.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Buzzing About HR. I'm Kate Underwood, your HR sidekick, workplace culture crusader, and enthusiastic champion of making things make sense for small businesses. Now today, my inner geek is coming out to play, because we are diving into a topic that has been all over my brain lately. You ready for it? AI in HR. Yep. Robots, algorithms, and all the shiny tech that's slowly creeping into our world of people, policies, and payslips. Why now? Well, I'll tell you what kicked it off. A few weeks ago, on the 24th of April to be exact, I trotted off to the HR Technologies UK show at Excel in London. And let me tell you, my HR techie brain was in overdrive. I spent the day demoing software, chatting with startups, and genuinely losing my cool over things like predictive absence dashboards. I know, what a life. But honestly, I came away with this mix of excitement, curiosity, and the occasional, ooh, not sure I trust that. Since then, I've been having loads of chats with clients and lovely listeners like you about AI. And it turns out everyone has the same questions. Is this going to help us? Is this going to replace us? And where do we even start without selling our souls to a chatbot? So today we're going to break it down in real human terms. And I've got a bunch of your brilliant listener questions to help us along the way. Let's talk AI in HR, the good, the bad, and the is this ethical bits. And as always, I'll round it off with my Kate-style practical tips to help you move forward confidently with your common sense intact. So let's kick off with our first listener question. Hi Kate, I'm hearing loads about AI screening CVs now. Is this something I should be doing for my business, or is it just a big corporate thing? And that's from the lovely Dave in Swindon. Brilliant place to start, Dave, because this is probably the most common place AI pops up in HR conversations right now, recruitment. And yes, CV screening tools are being used more and more, even by small businesses. Here's the deal. These tools can scan all the CVs you get for a vacancy and sort them by how well they match the job description. Sounds like a dream, right? You get 80 applications and the bot helps you narrow it down in minutes. But, and it's a big but, you have to be really careful about how you use them. At the HR Tech Show, I watched a demo of a tool that literally pulled apart CVs, flagged top performers, and ranked people using a matching score. Impressive stuff. But I asked, what if someone has transferable skills but hasn't used your keywords? And they sort of dodged the question. That's because AI can't read between the lines yet. It doesn't know the coordinated community outreach is basically project management light. And it just sees that the word project management isn't there, so it skips them. Also, and this is really important, those algorithms can learn bias. If you've historically hired graduates from certain universities, the AI might start preferring those profiles even without being told to do so. So, my advice is, if you're overwhelmed with applications, AI tools can help, but make sure they allow for human override. Don't ever let it be the only stage of review. You still need to read the CVs and watch for bias. and always test the tool against a diverse set of CVs to see what it's picking up or missing. Use AI as a very fast admin assistant, not as your hiring manager. Make sure you check out my blog about how these can be massive pitfalls for small businesses and the problems that they could bring. Question 2. Can AI help with writing job descriptions? I find them so dull and repetitive, says Priya in Bristol. Oh, Priya, you are not alone. I think I've written the phrase strong communication skills about 11,000 times in my career. So yes, this is an area where AI really shines. If you're staring at a blank Word document thinking, what even is a customer success manager? Pop a few details into an AI tool and it can generate a decent first draft for you in seconds. At the Excel show, I tested the platform that could make your job title, responsibilities, and ideal candidate profile and turn it into a full job ad, complete with tone options like friendly, corporate, or even witty. I went for witty, naturally. But here's the catch. You need your brain in gear. AI doesn't know your company culture. It doesn't know your tone of voice. And it absolutely doesn't know your hybrid policy actually means please come in on Wednesdays because we all like biscuits together. Also checked for unintended bias, so certain phrases can skew male, neurotypical, or even ageist. Overused jargon. AI loves cliches. Watch out for go-getter, rock star, or self-starter. And actual accuracy. I once saw AI write that a company offered private healthcare when it didn't. #awkward. So yes, let it do the heavy lifting, but edit, tweak, and keep it to you. Your job description should sound like a human, not a robot trying to impress its manager. Question number 3. What's the risk of using AI in disciplinary or performance management? Says Sarah, who is an HR manager at a tech startup. Sarah, thank you for this, because it's not just a risk, it's legal and ethical minefield. Yes, some tools track performance data. Some time spent on tasks, call lengths, or targets met. That's fine. Helpful even. But the moment you let AI actually take action on that data, like issuing warnings or triggering a performance review, you're playing with fire. In the UK, disciplinary procedures have to be fair, transparent, and involve actual people. Under the ACAS Code of Practice, employees must be given a chance to explain themselves, challenge evidence, and be accompanied at hearings. You can't automate that. You really can't. I saw a tool at HR Tech that said it could proactively manage underperformance. When I asked what that meant, it basically meant it flagged people to managers with pre-written suggestions. Yikes. My view, use AI to stop patterns, not to make decisions. So yes to flagging someone's productivity dipping, yes to surfacing or repeated lateness, but no to automatically issuing warnings. And remember, AI can't tell if someone's struggling because of health issues, poor management, or burnout. That's your job. Keep the human in human resources. Question 4. I run a retail business and I've seen AI chatbots for HR queries. Are they actually useful or just another gimmick? Says Lee from Cardiff. Honestly, Lee, they can be really helpful, especially in environments like retail, hospitality, or care, where people work shifts or aren't sitting at a laptop and need answers fast. Think about the questions people ask again and again. How do I check my holiday balance? What's the sick pay policy? And can I swap a shift on Thursday? A chatbot can answer these at 11 p.m. when no one in HR is picking up the phone. That's a win. But it has to be done right. I tried one recently that said refer to policy X, Y, and Z for every question. Useless. It's not a chatbot, it's a digital shrug. You need clear, accurate policy information, a friendly tone, regular updates to reflect policy change, and a human fallback in case it doesn't know the answer. Used well, a chatbot is like a super organised, frequently asked questions genie. Used badly, it just winds people up. So if you're going for it, train it well and keep it monitored. And our final question? Are there quality or bias risks for AI in recruitment? Says Rachel in Manchester. Yes, yes, and yes again. I'm so glad you asked, Rachel. AI is only as fair as the data it's trained on. And guess what? A lot of that data, especially historical recruitment data, is already biased. I heard a speaker at HR Tech talk about a case where AI rejected candidates who had gaps in their employment history, assuming that they were less reliable. But who takes career breaks more often? Women. Parents, carers. That's indirect discrimination. There's also bias around names that aren't typically British, educational routes that aren't university, and neurodivergent CV styles. Hello, bullet points. In the UK, you are still accountable under the Equality Act 2010, even if the algorithm made the call. If someone challenges your hiring and says, oh, it was the software, that is not a defence. So, audit your AI tools, ask the vendors what bias testing they've done, and keep an eye on outcomes, not just processes. Because equality isn't just about fair inputs, it's about who's getting through the system at the end of the day. So, let's land this plane. AI isn't going to steal your HR job, but it will change it. It can take the boring bits off your plate. It can help you spot patterns you might have missed. And it can give your team a faster, slicker experience. But it's not a replacement for people, judgment, or empathy. So if you're thinking of dipping your toe into the AI pool, here's my Kate's top 5 starter guide. Number 1, start with job description writers. They're low risk but big time savers. Number 2, try CV screening with oversight. Don't just switch off your brain. Number 3, look into chatbots for asking frequently asked questions, especially if you have shift workers. Number 4, use analytics tools to spot trends in absence, performance, or turnover. And number 5, always, always, always test for bias and make your vendors prove it. And remember, you don't have to go all in. Try one thing, review it, then build from there. Keep it human, keep it fair, and keep your geeky curiosity alive, because this space is only going to grow. That's it for today's episode of Buzzing About HR. If you've got more questions about AI, or you've seen a hilarious chatbot fail you want to share, come and find me on LinkedIn or drop a message via the podcast site. And if you've enjoyed this episode, you know what I'm going to say. Leave us a lovely review, tell a friend, and help us spread the buzz about making HR more human and more effective. Until next time, keep buzzing, stay curious, and don't let the robots win. Bye!
That's it for today. But if you fancy a bit of friendly HR advice in your inbox with zero waffle, come and join our newsletter. We send out bite-sized tips, plain English updates, and handy things you'll actually use. No spam, no fluff. You can sign up at kateunderwoodhr.co.uk/newsletter-sign up, or just hit the link in the show